Hello everyone, welcome back to another Stories with Richi, and today we have our dear friend Domo. How are you doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. Thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate you.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you, and this is our first story of athletes for Christ. So we're doing something different here, Stories with Richi, and you're the first person.
Nice. Let's
Yeah,
go.
welcome. So, what sport do you play?
Well, I play basketball. I'm actually a professional basketball player here in town for the Salem Capitals, and I also coach basketball here at Corbin.
Awesome, awesome. And when did you start playing basketball?
Pretty much like as far as I can remember, like since at least 5 years old, 4 years old, it's always been there. Like I never really, I don't know. Basketball was like one of my favorite deals. Like I love Pokemon first. Like I took Pokemon way more serious than basketball throughout life, and Dragon Ball Z and all that. But I've pretty much been playing basketball as long as I've been playing Pokemon, at least.
And you grew up in Vegas, right?
Yeah, Las Vegas. Yep.
Okay. How was that growing up playing basketball in a warm place? How was it?
Honestly, man, just growing up in Vegas in general, the best way I can explain it is you don't know where you're from until you leave. You know, like I didn't know Las Vegas was Las Vegas. So it's a lot that come with that. Like just growing up there, it's a little bit faster than a lot of other places that I've been to. But like just as far as basketball go, really good basketball community. Really like a lot of really good players, a lot of talent, and shoot, the Heat make it even hotter because growing up when we would go to the parks and stuff, it's a lot of gyms now. But when we would go to the parks, we'd get after it, or when we would just be outside, we'll get after it. But it's tough, being a kid playing outside in a place that's so hot during the summer.
Do you experience any challenges while playing basketball growing up?
I, that's actually a really good question. Challenges, I would say the hardest challenge playing basketball was trying to be what you are in your head, like, trying to live up to whatever you think you're supposed to live up to. Because like growing up, my older brother, he was really good. He was like one of the best He was like one of the best players in Las Vegas, like ranked in the country, all that good stuff. And I just felt like because he was so good at basketball, I had to be so good at basketball. Knowing inside I loved Pokemon, like so it was just growing up that part probably till like I want to say like my freshman sophomore year of high school. But that part was hard for me to like navigate because I felt like I had to.
You had those expectations
Yeah,
with you?
for myself. Other people kind of had expectations just because they would assume that, okay, if he's good, he'll be at least a little decent. And God actually like blessed me to be able to have, decent talent. So people just was like, oh, you got to be good. And I thought I had to be whatever.
So you put that pressure on yourself?
Definitely.
And how did that affect your game?
My game struggled simply because I play with a lot of emotion. So all those internal feelings that I wasn't really sharing with people would come out onto the court. And, it's a fine line between like passion and rage, especially when you're inside the line. So I really danced on that line a lot because I couldn't express myself as honest as I wanted to.
Wow. So you came to Corbin. When did you come to Corbin?
Well, it's 2022 now, so I want to say I came to 2019 the year 1920, right when COVID hit.
Okay.
So COVID hit right at the end of our basketball season. It kind of ended our basketball season same week. Same week as our last game, COVID hit and shut everything down.
And how did you ended up here?
Well, I've been coming to Salem I've been in and out of Salem since like 2012. I graduated from Shemeka to here in town, so junior college here. I coached high school here. And yeah, just, my wife and my little brother Davey just kind of, and other people obviously, but just spoke life into me. Spoke life into me, wanted me to, see what I could do because they believed in me. I just didn't believe in myself as much as I probably should have. And then all of us, like, we prayed on it. And then I talked to my college coaches. And, you know, an email later, here we are.
Wow. And how thankful are you from finding this opportunity, playing the sport you love at this school?
Man, I like to say a lot of things saved my life. I think Corbin changed my life. Because like, it's a lot of different parts. It's a lot of different parts of my life where it was a really big pivot where I was either going to go where I'm supposed to go or I was going to go where I was headed. And when I got to Corbin, I ended up pivoting to where I'm supposed to go, not where I was headed. And, bro, I ain't going to lie, like, I'm grateful every day. That's why my loyalty to this school is what it is. That's why I give so much of myself when I'm here, and I love the people here because they made everything that changed my life. They're all a part of it. Like, every student I met, all the staff, like, that aren't here anymore, students and staff, like, people graduated, ex-teammates, man, tutors, like, professors, like, you name it. Like, even, like, man, one of my really good friends he just got the head of the cafeteria job, like, you know, and it's just like, I love it. I love everybody here, bro. I love it. It just changed my life so much, and I'm grateful for it, and I don't want to leave. Like, I just don't want to leave. And I just want to give everything I can to this place as long as I can because I finally got to have a home. It's the only place I've ever been longer than a year.
Wow, that means a lot to you.
A lot. A lot. I'm big on family. I'm big on home.
And you mentioned the place you were supposed to be and the place you were heading toward, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think people can find that?
I think the best way that made me aware of the difference or that where I was headed is once I realized I didn't have a plan for my life. Like, the easiest way to, like, end up where you headed is to not know where you're going. So once I, like, kind of start, you know, trying to say, hey, this is what I want for myself. This is where I want to be in this amount of time. Or I kind of took away the time limits, honestly. I was like, this is where I want to be, this is what I want, and this is how I want to feel when I get there. It started changing to that. It started, you know, I started looking at that. And, yeah, that's when I noticed, like, oh, my gosh, because I changed this one thing, now this is available. Like, this kind of stuff is there. It wasn't there if I was doing that. There's no way it could have been because I know what I was doing when I was doing that. I know what I was seeing when I was doing that. There's no way I would even saw this, you know? So just having a plan for yourself, like knowing where you want to go was a big way for me to notice where I was headed and where I was supposed to be.
You mentioned about coming to Corbin and changing your life.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the professors. How did they help you?
First off, they actually want you to, like, learn, which is, it's crazy to say out of college. Yeah, the professors want you to learn. No, like, if you ever had a class with me, you know, I'm the guy that I'm going to sit in the front. I'm going to raise my hand every time I got a question. And especially in classes that were like Bible classes, I for sure had questions, you know, always, because why wouldn't I, you know? So, but they would answer. They would take their time and they would actually think. And if they couldn't answer, they'd be like, hey, let's meet and talk about this. Or even if it wasn't like a Bible class, like they would actually like send me materials on things that like, hey, you struggled on this. You should probably look at this heading into the next test. You know, or one professor told me, my stats professor, she told me, like, hey, if you don't from right here, like, do this, that, and the third, you will not pass this class. and I need you to pass this class. And she hit up the tutors for me. She CC'd coach. Like, she made sure everyone was in on me passing this class. All I had to do was do what she knew I could do. And one last story on the professors. I had a class called Literacy and Orality. It taught me that I was a post-literate oral learner. And to me, that's a really fancy way of saying I learn better with my ears than I do reading. And that changed the way that I navigated my academics, and I actually ended up doing better than I did any other year. And I graduated because of it. I wouldn't have graduated if I didn't learn that from that class during my senior year. And my professor really wanted me to grow and to learn and to know that about myself. She even made me do a whole presentation on what it is, how can you teach them, how can you grade a post-literate oral learner, like what ways can you help them like grow and learn. And it was crazy, and I learned a lot about myself, and I'm like, I can use this for me. And isn't that what a teacher's supposed to do? Teach you to fish, teach you how you learn, and then give you the same material and watch you dominate it. And that's what these professors do here. They actually care, and it trips me out, man. Because not that any other teacher or professor I had didn't do that, but I've never seen it on like a wide scale in the whole university before.
Yeah, I experienced that, so I'm very thankful as well as an international student. So.
Oh, I bet. That's cool.
Yeah, so you mentioned today you're a professional basketball player here in Salem, and you're a Christian. And I wonder, how are you able to manage the sport you play and your belief in Christ?
Great question. I think I separate it because one's the competitor and one's the basketball player. One is competing and one is and one is playing. Like one is, it's just because basketball is just a game, right? And like I said, when I came here to Corbin, I learned how to play for God. Like that's one of the main things that I take from this place is I learned how to do unto God. I learned how to worship him in my own way. And for myself, like I said earlier, I'm a really passionate person, especially when I play the game. And I learned how to praise and worship God on the basketball court because I'm not the loudest person in church, but I'm the loudest person on the court. And I always wondered, why? I always felt a little bad because I'm like, why I can't do that there? But I was like, okay, I'll just move this over here. And I just kind of put God in the middle, right in the middle of it, where he's supposed to be anyway. I put him right in the middle of it. And so now when I play, it's like I just get to play and enjoy being part of what God letting me do. Because there's no way that my rookie year should be at 29, 30 years old. I had my rookie year, my rookie season. And I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'm not supposed to be there. And I'm just like, look at God, bro. I'm going to ride this thing as far as I can go. I love it. I'm not going to take anything for granted. I'm just going to go out here and just lay my heart on the line every single day, every practice, every game. And all that ended up turning into me winning an award in the league called the Spirit of the Game. Oddly named. Because, man, that's the only thing I honestly wanted. Is to be able to share myself and have people actually acknowledge it and think that it's a good thing. Not like people used to think. And it's a bad thing because it's a line, right? Between passion and, Sorry. I just kind of...
Oh, that's good.
This is a big deal, bro, because I always felt misunderstood on the, emotionally. And shoot, once I put God in the thing that like I really used to express myself, it made it so easier, so much more free, so much more less judgmental. Like it just feels so good, bro. It feels so good. It feels so good to play and have God watch your game.
Wow. I've been watching on your stories, and I've been observing how you've been helping the community here in Salem, and especially with the youth, the future generation.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you?
Man, it means everything, honestly, because this is what we all wanted, right? Somebody to tell us when we was little, you can do it, but all you got to do is this. You know, somebody that's just like, doesn't make you feel nervous or scared, doesn't make you feel invisible, makes you feel like even though I'm not as good as that kid, I'm still just as good in my own right. Like, kids, people think kids don't listen. But they hear you. They just don't know how to express themselves yet. It's a different day and age now, so they don't express the way we express. They express more with their actions. Let those cries for help really be loud now. And just to let them know that, like, I see you. Like, what more can you want as a kid? You trying your best. It's hard. You have no control over any of your circumstances. But this one person makes you feel empowered. Even if for a little bit in one area of life, and it's just only pertaining to a ball. But here I feel like I'm seen. I feel like I can be a part of the game. They feel like they can be a part of the game, Richie.
Yeah.
Nothing feels better than being a part of the game. That's what Sandlot was about. That's what Smalls was talking about the whole time. They made him feel like he was a part. That's what Benny did for him. Just to be a part. And that's all I want them to feel, is that they can too. You can play too. Yeah. You don't got to be good. It don't take no talent to do your best. You can play too. And that's all I want them to know.
You're sharing hope.
Straight up. Straight up.
So you mentioned, I would like to go back. Your rookie year was when you were 29 years old?
I'm 29.
And how was it? Because I believe that probably people said, it's like, why are you still playing? You're old. Did you experience that?
Oh, for sure. But a lot of people, when they ask me why I'm still playing, I kind of laughed, and I said the same reason why my old coach grew his hair out this year, because he can. He said, if it's gonna grow, I'm gonna let it grow, and if God gonna let me play, you better believe I'm gonna play. And that's the only reason why I play, because shoot, I still can. It's a lot of people that have so much more talent than me, so much more, but for some reason their circumstance don't let them get to play. But I do. And there's so many people decided, even my cousin right now, he's 27 years old, he's going back to school. He got all his stuff in line, he's going back to school, and he's going to go back and play. You know, it's people I met that's like, hey, shoot, I'm going to do the Ironman next year. I thought I was too old, but shoot, they seen half of our roster, and almost everybody was over 30. Like, you know, and it was a lot of our first years playing professionally. And people just believe that they can do it too. Because I like to say, it don't stop unless you do. If you want to stop, it stops. If you want to play, you can always play. The game ain't going nowhere. You're the only one who is. The game don't stop.
We're mentioning hope. And I would like to know what Christ means in your life.
Honestly, it almost feels like a big brother that's playing a father figure role. That's kind of our relationship. Because personally, like a lot of my conversation and a lot of my everything with God is, I wouldn't say it's informal, but it's more like, it's really like I'm talking to like my brother, my big brother. But I got to do everything he say because I living in his house, like, you know. And it means the world to me because that's what I want, bro. I just want to know what direction I need to go, and I'll go do it. And I feel like whenever I don't have Christ centered in that, whenever I don't have God and like centered in that, it don't go the right way. It don't go the way that I know that it should go because he already told me the way it should go. But he still let me do it the way I want to do it. But we both know.
Mm-hmm.
We both know. And he just looks at me like, how was that? Let's try this now. And I'm like, okay. Sometimes that happens 3-4 times before I actually try what he say to try. Because I think I can no. I think.
Want to do it yourself.
Yeah. But it means everything that he lets me. Even when I'm not paying attention, he's still watching. Like, I still got you, stupid. Like, just like a big brother is. Just like a father should. I was like, I got you. I'm gonna let you bump your head if you have to. But if I might give you a helmet sometimes, That's that grace we don't deserve. That helmet. But that's another story for another day. The grace I needed.
Just to finish today, DOMO. A lot of people out there, they're athletes, and they're struggling on how to balance their beliefs in Jesus Christ and how to leave it out there so that other people can see that. I wonder what would be your advice for all of them on how they can be an athlete for Jesus Christ.
I would say to anybody out there that is struggling with their identity in the game with Christ is get over yourself. Get over yourself. It's bigger than you. You're only going to look dumb for a little bit, and it's only going to be to yourself. Because when they watch you and they see what you're actually doing, they can't do nothing but respect it. Because when they really see you walking when God telling you to walk, when they really see you talking when God telling you to talk, they hear, they listen. Even the demons know his name. So don't worry. It's only going to feel weird for a little.
Wow. Thank you so much, DOMO.
No worries, bro. Thanks for having me.